I'm gonna come with the matcha. It's matcha with Dan. Welcome to my show, everybody.
So Dapper Dan, right? The name.
Yeah.
Where did that come from? Like,
there's a lot of lore, but not exciting lore as much. I don't think this is the first conference, and maybe I'll get like shunned away here. But this is the first conference I'd never sat for like basically a single talk. Hearing X person talk about X chain and what's gonna be great about that, like I don't know. Yeah, you're paying 35 hour flight. $30,000 or whatever, and then like you sit in the Uber all day. That's like my biggest nightmare.
I advise if they want to go to these conferences, like next year, DevCon is in Mumbai, India. So I have a lot of Indian audience. What do you suggest? Like if they're slightly newer to Web3 or they don't have a lot of connections, what should they be doing? How should they be approaching these conferences? One of the largest or most anticipated L1s of the year launch as well.
Does it start with an M? I'll be honest, I'm not like a maxi or anything like that. And I mean, for someone like me to get an allocation, I think that's like just being part of the community essentially is great. I'm not going to complain.
I find it quite weird when people are grinching in the reply section when they don't get a high allocation. Like, dude, you're not owed anything. Like, Base did launch a two-way bridge between Base and Solana, and people from the Solana side, like Toli and Vibo, who have pushed back and said, hey, you guys not actually work with the Solana team for this launch. There was no alignment.
I'll start with this. I think Base is out to win. They're out to win it all.
Solana might feel threatened, but Base has the money, they have the distribution, and they won't be afraid to use it. Farcaster has announced that they are going to be kind of slightly pivoting from a social media first app to being a wallet first app.
I'll say two things on a community level first, and then on a personal level. I think it's fucked up that he's saying there's no product market fit. Like I've read so many articles of like, here's all the alternatives to Twitter when you want to leave, and I never see Farcaster listed at all in any of those things. And I think that's like a marketing problem there.
At Avail, we're building this thing called Nexus, which is essentially an interoperability protocol, a meta interoperability protocol. People have this thing in their mindset that, you know what, I'm fine with connecting my wallet, choosing my network.
I love clicking buttons so many times. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, talking about it won't really make sense. So I want you to actually go ahead and try one of the apps that we have built. Don't specify what your source chain is. Essentially, you basically moved from two chains. It felt like one action that was being done.
It's just an alternative to bridging?
Wow, that was a very long intro. I know. Anyway, welcome to Okay, so I did forget to get chai this time, so I'm not gonna have, I might have a cup with me somewhere here. No? Okay. All right, so anyway, in today's episode of Chai with Robin, I have a special guest, Dapper Dan, with me today, where we went over and discussed a lot of things under the sun that pertain to Web3. We went over the recent Devconnect and conferences in general. We went over the Mainnet that happened a few weeks ago. We also went over some of the more recent debates and discussions that have, been on CT for the past couple of days involving Base and Solana, and also the recent Farcaster announcement where they announced that they were going to be focusing more on a wallet experience than a social media experience on the Farcaster client. And finally, we also got Dapper Dan to test out the Avail Nexus Showcase app, which I was very excited to do. So all of that and more in this session of Chai with Robin. Enjoy.
I feel like I should be doing this. Yeah, you told me there was going to be an intro, but you didn't tell me it was going to be like full max volume. I'm sure you're going to edit that, but that was like...
Well, anyway, welcome to Chai with Robin. Hello, Dapper Dan. Welcome to the show. I don't know if I should call it a show, but welcome to this thing that I'm trying to do.
It's a show. If I'm here, it's going to be a show. So
I mean, that's what we need. That's what we need, right? So yeah, I mean, just to give you a little context about what this thing is, I don't really know myself. I just woke up one day and decided I need to create a space for myself where I can, talk with um, my audience, if I have an
Yeah.
audience, and also with others, maybe have occasional conversations about things that interest are between us, and maybe yap about things, and maybe give some cool updates about some of the happenings that are happening in the space, right? So I thought that we needed a space for that, or I needed a space for that, and so I'm just doing this thing. So
So
yeah,
this is a therapy session then. That's what this
yeah, it
is.
is. That is what it is.
All
That
right.
is what it
I'll send you my invoice after this, but that's cool. I'm glad to be here. I do want to say thing at the start. I know you called this Chai with Robin, but that goes against my own personal brand. So we're just going to change that to matcha with Dapper Dan immediately.
Okay.
I don't drink chai, but I do drink matcha. So
All right. I mean,
there we go.
granted. Caffeine is caffeine. I think matcha has caffeine, so it's fine.
Yeah, definitely does. The purest of the pure.
All right. It's all part of it's all from nature, so I accept everything. So it's fine.
Nice. That's good.
Unfortunately, I forgot to make my own cup of chai for this.
You see, I saw an opening. I knew you were gonna come prepared. I was like, I'm gonna come with the matcha. It's matcha with Dan. Welcome to my show, everybody. This is it. Swap us on the little screen so we can go.
Oh my god, yeah. That's pretty cool. So yeah, I mean, I think the one curious question I had was so Dapper Dan, right? The name.
Yeah.
Where did that come from? Like, is there some lore that I'm missing?
There's a lot of lore, but not exciting lore as much. So originally there's this guy named Dapper Dan back in the 80s in New York City. He was like basically he outfitted all of the underground rappers with all of this like kind of bootleg Louis Vuitton, Gucci, all this stuff, but it was like completely fake. But it was like he took the logos because obviously people couldn't afford it back then, so they just wanted to make it be a part of this like new rich kind of class. So originally that's Dapper Dan. You can look it up. And when I entered this space, obviously like dApps were a thing. And I just like, I don't know, one day I had an epiphany of like, Dapper Dan, that's who I should change my Twitter handle to at least. And it just stuck. It's been there forever. So I guess that's the much lore I have on it. So there's a story at least, but yeah, nothing too crazy.
Let me actually try and pull this up on screen. I don't know if this is the Dapper Dan that you're talking about. Is this it?
Yeah, there he is. And that's not my PFP, by the way, but it does look very similar. But yeah, that's Dapper Dan.
He's got his style. He's got
very much stylish. Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Okay. So with that lore past me, because I wanted to ask that for quite some while.
Yeah, you got it out.
Yeah. So let's actually go back a few weeks and then build it up from there in terms of like what's happening in space. So last month, November, I think since the second half of the month, we had Devconnect happening in Buenos Aires. And man, was I FOMOing there. Like,
why weren't you there? That's ridiculous. That's you dropped the ball there.
I know, but I did check the flight tickets and it was like almost $2,500 to and fro, and I was like,
oh wow, okay, yeah. I mean, I love crypto, but
not that much.
Yeah.
I'm not sitting on a 35-hour flight paying $2,500 to go to a conference. So here we are.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, but I did FOMO a lot. I saw a ton of great events, a lot of great people, as always. But again, familiar faces across all of these events because it is what it is.
Yeah.
What was your experience like?
My experience was, I mean, not to rub it in, but it was great. Obviously, it's weird though. I don't think this is the first conference, and maybe I'll get like shunned away here. But this is the first conference I'd never sat for like basically a single talk. I think I did. I obviously maybe it counts as moderating a talk. I did do that, like a panel. But I didn't attend any talks, and to be honest, like I think the talks are great, but I can literally just watch them online after the fact, and in a better time. Like I can watch it now instead of like wasting my time and meeting people, going to events. connecting with just different teams that I've either worked with throughout this whole year, new teams that want to work with me. All those things I think is like the reason to go. Hearing, X person talk about X chain and what's going to be great about that, like, I don't know. And then you kind of locked in, right? You kind of like sitting there for an hour or 30 minutes. Or like, I've given talks, so I'm not against it. And obviously, it's like, oh, what are you doing? But so I didn't see any talks. I can't say like the talks were great, but I'm sure they were. But I think it was really nice. I think most of the time I didn't have to like travel all across Buenos Aires to get to different places. So it's nice to be like kind of centrally-ish located, at least in like Palermo, which was good. That's always like a big fear of like, yeah, you're paying, 35-hour, flight, $30,000 or whatever, and then like you sit in an Uber all day. That's like my biggest nightmare. So I'm glad that didn't happen. I think the vibes were unreal, but like now I look at the timeline and people are just like upset with like life. I don't know why. Like I thought, normally if you go to a big conference, you're like, everyone's like, yeah, we're building, here we go, everything. But it's almost like someone like it wasn't a good event and everyone's like upset now about everything. I'm sure we're gonna touch about a lot of things people are upset about, but I had a good time and my vibes are still high. So yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I wasn't there, so I don't know what wasn't working for Devconnect. One good thing I think you mentioned was like all the events and the side events probably were in like one central location, so it was walkable.
Generally, yeah.
Generally walkable, yeah. But yeah, I think that also comes like the follow-on to that is you also mentioned you were not basically listening to any talks. Then what becomes the point of these events at the end of the day? Because I remember like back in 2024, we had a series of discussions all throughout CT and like during events that, the main conference is empty. There's a lot of empty chairs. All these you need 200, 300 side events at a conference. And a year later, do we think people learned something about that? Like, have they like toned down events? Have they try to make events better in some way? Like,
well, I think like Devconnect now it was more centralized. So like last one I went to was in Turkey, right? And there was always about Devconnect was like a decentralized event. So you had the co-working space, and that was basically it. And then you had a few conferences that were in the same building, but it was all about bringing everyone together and then making that like side events and all that. This year they tried to do a little bit more centralized, right? They have this the ETH World's Fair, which I thought was really good, right? Because at least you could have a good place. Oh, I will meet this team at this booth or whatnot. And then in that space alone, also there was a bunch of like side conferences. So I think they learned, I think in that regard, I think the attendance, I didn't see, like normally I put like an empty seat meme during these conferences and take a bunch of empty chairs everywhere, but I didn't really see, obviously I wasn't there at many of the conference, like the talks, but I didn't see that many empty chairs, to be honest. So I think they did a better job of like, what is it? Like corralling or like herding us all into one general location and then making those connections. Cause I think that's really the point, right? It's like that random, like every time I go to these events, like, oh, I know everybody in the space. Like I don't know everyone in the space. I know everyone that I'm probably going to work with, but then I meet like, 30 other new people and they introduce me to other. So that's always like the best and why I go to these things. So, yeah.
Yeah, so I think the general ROI or like the general consensus is these panel talking keynote events. They can be there, but they're no longer the highlight of these events anymore. I think social networking mixer events work way better. People like to chill more. I see a lot of newer kinds of events where people are trying to sell experiences. I think who did that? Octandap and Hype did that candlelight concert thing.
Yeah, I was there. Yeah.
Got into the VIP zone, huh?
Yeah, exactly. I made it, mama. I made
it. All right. Good for you. But yeah, that's pretty cool. Okay. And what do you think works at events like these, like when there's a large crowd of people? And if anyone's watching, right, like if there's any advice, if they want to go to these conferences, like next year DevCon is in Mumbai, India, so I have a lot of Indian audience. What do you suggest? Like if they're slightly newer to Web3 or they don't have a lot of connections, what should they be doing? How should be approaching these conferences?
Well, I think the best, like, I think there's even an article about it, but like crypto conferences are definitely choose your own adventure experiences. So it's very interesting. Like, I think when I first started and going just as, purely as like a dev essentially, and like even the crowd that you hang out with, and now, being more on the content side, my experience is like completely different. And it's kind of sad because I see like some of my, friends I used to just hang out with, and like, you see them at every side event or everything. And then like, now I don't see them at all, or like it's more of a challenge to like find that one event that we're gonna both be at, because we've just chosen different adventures now. So I would tell people, like, you don't need to have like a goal, like I want to meet X amount of people, all that stuff, but you definitely want to have like a theme. And like a theme could be like, say you want to do privacy, right? Like, into that, like there's going to be tons of like different privacy related events, and like really map out your adventure during that whole time. Obviously have some flexibility, because like it's really cool if you meet people and then you can like, oh, what event you're going to? Oh, I'll just go around. Like, I think if it's your first time, like just do that. Like, see a couple of people you've seen maybe at 2 or 3, introduce yourself and just ride with them, because as experienced people are probably gonna go to better things than you will. But you can definitely have a whole different experience, right? Like, people like, oh, how was the event? Like the conference, it's like it could go from great to terrible real quick because of what the adventure that you chose. So just know that like you have to be kind of intentional with the things you go to, but you can also be very flexible and let someone else guide you if you want. So I guess that's the 2 options.
All right. See, that is pretty cool advice. Yeah, I mean, there is no one, way to kind of navigate these events. I think that makes sense. Choose your own adventure, I think, is a right word. I think it is.
I try.
All right. Yeah. Okay. So let's move past events for a bit, right? So after that, I think soon after that, we had one of the largest or most anticipated L1s of the year launch as well.
Yeah.
Do you want to guess its name?
Does it start with an M?
You might be right. I think it starts with an M, ends with a D.
Yeah, the Mad Lad. I don't know.
Yeah, all right, so like, yeah, the Monad Mainnet, that is what happened on November 24th, if I'm not wrong. TGE happened. There was a very cool airdrop sequence that they had prior to this, though. I don't know if you did get an airdrop, but like the entire experience they built prior to the mainnet with the airdrop, the revealing your allocations via like daily boxes.
The mystery boxes. Yeah,
it was actually pretty cool. I haven't seen such an experience. Like, usually people just do the boring old,
Yeah, here's the airdrop. Yeah.
It is.
I think it's good. I think it's I think they did a good job with all of that. I had no. I'll be honest. I'm not like a Monad maxi or anything like that. And I mean, for someone like me to get an allocation, I think that's like just being part of the community essentially is great. I'm not going to complain. I find it astounding that people complain about getting free money, but whatever. Each to their own. I think that the whole building around it, I haven't looked at the token price lately, so I heard it was like up and down and whatnot. But I think it's good. Good marketing, good way to get the narrative going, I guess. I think it was also important. I saw a lot of people asking like, but what's your favorite Monad app or whatever? And like, it was like crickets. So I do think maybe like attaching a little bit more of like the apps and their ecosystem probably could have helped. But yeah, I don't know. I don't have any strong opinions about airdrops because a lot of people do, and I'm like, listen, they're giving you free money, like just take it.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, I find it quite weird when people are grinching in the reply section when they don't get a high allocation. Like, dude, you're not owed anything. Like, they've built something, it's pretty cool, and sure, you've been early participants, and whatever you're getting is whatever you're getting. Like nobody asked you to farm. That's the end. At the end of the day, nobody asked you to farm. Like, who told you like thousands of dollars to farm anything? Like, so I mean, that's what I think. But yeah,
it'll be another one when the base token, whatever that comes out. It'll be another slaughter of the timeline of just people crying.
Do you think they're going L1 route, or do they stay in L2 and just launch a token?
Oh, that's a good question. I mean, I know we're gonna talk about the Solana thing, not to spoil anything like that, but I'll say this. And just to transition, why don't you tee it up for us? Because then I'm gonna transition to talk about my personal opinions about all of this. So talk about this Solana thing first. Give them a brief.
All right. So, yeah, I mean the Solana base thing. I don't know. For the past few days on CT. I think there's been quite discussion. I would say. I wouldn't say it's a civil.
That's
discussion.
putting it nicely. Yeah, I mean it's more debate about things.
Yeah. So essentially, Base did launch, or did they actually launch it, or did they just announce the launch of the bridge?
That's a good question. I don't know. That's the funny thing about CT, right? Like you could say something and like people will forget about it. Though. Like if they didn't launch it, it's a shame because people are gonna forget about this.
Yeah,
before,
I think they did launch it because I saw like there was some tweets.
They had the contracts.
Yeah, the contracts. So essentially, Base did launch a two-way bridge between Base and Solana, and basically, so Jesse from Base kind of talked about it a bit and kind of talked about it in a way that it was like alignment between both the chains in some sort of fashion. And then we've got some people from the Solana side, like Toli and Vibu, who have pushed back and said, hey, you guys not actually worked with the Solana team for this launch. There was no alignment. Like this is just like a vampire attack on Solana, etc., right? So I mean, it is quite the thing, but yeah, I would want to like first get your thoughts on that.
Well, I'll say this. I'll start with this. I think Base is out to win. They're out to win it all. Okay, that's like, and I don't. And you could say that's a bad thing or a good thing, but I think that's the truth. Like, and they will use any sort of like tactic or turn of phrase to make it seem like they're not out to win it all, but they are. Like they are, and then like, so I mean like I said, like I mean with like the Base app, they want to win creators, they want to win devs, they want to win apps, they want to win all of it. And I do hear Solana's point when they're like, well, you're just trying to like extract value from our chain and not get anything back. And the huge thing is that like they didn't, and there's one way to like do this, and I think in a good way, but they didn't go that route, right? They didn't, engage the Solana Foundation. They didn't even tell them it's almost like, but they're like, this is all open. It's supposed to be like, we all want to have this interconnected interoperability stuff, but they're just using that as a phrase to kind of protect them from what they're really doing, which is like not the right way to do it. And then also I saw like people in the Base side like, oh, you're just trying to like lock people into Solana, like that's not cool. And like on the face of it, yeah, that makes sense. But behind like the context is that like you still should have done it to the point of this tweet, right? Like actual partnership. Like we always like meme like logo X logo as like the marketing the thing, right? Like we got a new partnership. But they like just like logo X logo without telling the logo that they're gonna be in it, right? Like I don't just like, yo, Dan Chain and Avail, we made a partnership. Didn't tell Avail, like, yo, Dan Chain, here we go. It's just like not the right way to do it. So I think that's the point. Not like that Solana's trying to like lock in. And I'm not a Solana maxi at all, but like, yeah, I just think it's just didn't do right.
Interesting. But I don't know, I might be reading this wrong, but I think I saw a few tweets somewhere around this entire conversation that I think Mert kind of tweeted under it or something, where they did try to reach to the Solana Foundation. They just didn't give it too much attention.
Oh, they got the wrong email. They're like, help at Solana Foundation.
No, I mean, I think they tried to engage a conversation. Solana initially did set up some group, but they did not, act on it too much. Probably they were not like promoting Base as an L2 onto Solana or whatever that is. And then probably Base just thought, hey, you know what? If they're not gonna support us, we might just as well just go ahead and do it. It is a permissionless world, and I don't know what happened, what the internal politics is, but it is quite interesting to see. Because Solana was very supportive towards Monad, actually, because they did support the Monad token and the bridging to Monad, and from on day one, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
So that is quite interesting to me. Is like, why would they, even though EVM compatible, both chains EVM compatible, Base just being an L2, Monad being an L1, which is competitive to Ethereum in a sense, gets much better support, probably, is what I'm assuming. Again, I'm just assuming here, so I don't know what happened behind the scenes. So that's there. So that's quite interesting to me, what happened.
Yeah, and I think there was another point around like Base, like when they had the Base Camp a conference or something like that. They were like, Base is gonna be bigger than Solana, like as one of their goals, right? So like I said, I mean Base is just out to win, and you know that could help the whole industry as a whole. That could just only serve Base, but that's a fact. Like how they move. That's just like it. And then like I said, and I don't again. I'm not saying it's a good thing or a bad thing. Maybe they should win it all. I don't know, but they use the philosophies and cultural things to say when they get called out and say, oh, okay, no, we're being open about this, guys. So yeah, I think that's the big like thing for me. Is just that like there's probably a right way and a wrong way to do these sorts of things, and perhaps they just didn't do it right. I have no idea about this other like their attempt to partner, and they didn't. I could see that also being a thing too, but
yeah, I don't have the exact link to the thread, otherwise I would have pulled it up on screen. But I think this this post from Rishi, if you know Rishi, is I think
I heard Rishi likes matcha. Rishi, cheers.
yeah, he loves
You
matcha.
can have this last. You can have this last drop, Rishi, for you.
Right, so like his take I think is the most balanced. I think it makes sense, right? He says that Jesse is playing this really well. He's trying to portray this positive sum game and position, but he gains the most out of this thing because Solana has a lot of liquidity. Base wants that liquidity, and having that bridge kind of enables them to get to that as well, right? And this could potentially mean like Solana might feel threatened by this, even though they don't have. I mean, I don't know if they should be threatened. I mean, because there are bridges anyway, but I don't know what the exact thing is. But I mean, they might be feeling threatened. But Base has the money, they have the distribution, and they won't be afraid to use it. And yeah, I mean, apparently Jesse claims that Solana builders are asking for Base support, and we'll see if that's true, right? If the money flows, then it talks, like money talks. So we'll see, like all of this narrative talk, alignment talks that people have on CT doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, what matters at the end of the day is this chart here that you see, like the money flowing, and you can actually see.
Where is this? This is sick. I don't even see
this is pretty cool. I don't know if you know Mayan. Mayan is a pretty cool explorer, and these guys. So like you can actually, so for example, for Monad, right? Like for the past 30 days, 8.74% of the bridging volume is towards Monad. I think, and 40% of that is coming from Ethereum. You've got 16% of that coming in from Solana. Meanwhile, you've got Base, where 14% of liquidity flowing to Base is from Solana and whatnot. So like you can see this entire flow, and you can also see
crazy.
Like the destination chain. So 22.55% of the time, Solana is the destination chain that people choose to bridge to, which is crazy. Like it is just behind Ethereum. It has got the L1 premium. It is the most used chain other than Ethereum. And I mean, Ethereum has the liquidity for sure, but like Solana also, like it's way cheaper to use. It's way faster to use at times. And so I think
when
Solana,
it's not down,
I mean, has it been down for a while now?
No. I think
It's
that's
only
just
the
a
initial
tired
years,
meme.
right?
It's a tired meme. Yeah.
I know. I mean, during its early days, it used to have like a meltdown every couple of months, which was crazy to have. But yeah, I mean, this is a pretty cool view I like to see. Also to see like, liquidity from Solana keeps going. A lot of it goes to Ethereum and whatnot. I think most of it goes to Ethereum, actually. Nothing really else at this point. Most of it just goes to Ethereum, which is pretty cool. Okay. But yeah, I mean, this is something I really wanted to show. Even I think DeFi Llama has, I think this is Monad DeFi compared to, what is Solana DeFi? Like how much does Solana have on there? Damn.
Wow.
8 billion. Come on. Okay. That to let's see what base is. Sorry. Okay, that's half of it. So
yeah.
there's a lot of catching up to do. So we'll see. But I mean, this is also, I mean, terrific. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Okay. All right. So finally, as we're talking about all of this interoperability stuff, yeah, I mean, I work at Avail. We do a lot of cool things surrounding interoperability. But before that, I had one more thing I think I wanted to talk about, which was more recently we had Farcaster news. Let me see if I can pull that up on screen as well.
I hope Dan Romero posted something about it.
Yeah, he did, but he posted it on Farcaster itself. So
yeah.
he pulled us up on Twitter. But yeah, I mean, the big news is that Farcaster has announced that they are going to be kind of slightly pivoting from a social media first app to being a wallet first app after seeing that there is not really any product market fit in decentralized social media.
Yeah.
That is quite interesting to me because for the past year or so, or maybe even a couple of years, Farcaster has really blown up in terms of users, and it is the network that is behind the base app, right? So
Right. That's crazy.
So I'm like, yeah, I mean, Farcaster, it blew up. I think Base basically, took it under its wing and, did a lot of, gave it a lot of support, a lot of, firepower to go through and support, wallet support. There was, mini app support, frames that came up before that, right? All of these things were powered by the Base community.
Right.
And the Farcaster network still, like the network itself exists, but the Farcaster client that they have, I think Warpcast or that itself is going to be a wallet first approach for them moving forward. What do you think about that?
I'll say two things on a community level first, and then on a personal level. So, on the community level, I think it's really kind of, I don't know if this is a family show, but I think it's fucked up that he's saying there's no product market fit. Because like I think Farcaster itself couldn't find that, but I think the idea of the concept around decentralized social network has some level of product market fit. I mean, like there's other ones out there that aren't necessarily crypto native. Blue Sky, for example, is like a protocol based. But I think I was always blown away that like Farcaster never took that moment of like when like Elon took over Twitter, everyone wanted to exodus out of there. There was a couple other moments, especially Trump won the election and everyone wanted out of Twitter. Like there was tons of moments that I think like if you took, I don't know, base marketing, Solana marketing, I know we talked about those two. Like if you gave all of those marketing dollars to those people and like ran some ads, I think it would have definitely captured a moment. And I just never saw, like I read so many articles of like, here's all the alternatives to Twitter when you want to leave. And I never see Farcaster listed at all in any of those things. And I think that's like a marketing problem there, like or an education problem.
Right.
So I think like no product market fit, right? They obviously have like a community going on there. I know a lot of people use that as their primary social network. So like to say that, I'm not sure if that's 100% true. And to your point though, right? Like I think he says it here, or I saw somewhere a post where he was like, yeah, we had a few different spikes, but we never had like anyone, long sustainable growth. So like that's another thing. Like, a lot of the features that you think come standard with social networking just wasn't always there. Like, I mean, I remember it took me forever to get that ability to access to like upload videos because, like, obviously they went to ramp up the network and all that, which I understand technically, but it's just like you go to an app now in nearly 2026, you want to be able to do chat, you want to be able to do direct messages, you want to be able to upload videos, photos, all these baseline features, replies, all that stuff, and some of that stuff was just missing, right? So I think as a like user, you're just not gonna feel it. So yeah, I think that's rough. On a personal level, I'm not like saying I'm happy about it, but I always felt stressed as a creator in the space to like, oh, I need to be like on chain all the time. I need to post things, and I always had trouble, like I said, posting videos on Base app. I still do today, Farcaster, all that stuff, and like trying to manage a whole other app. And people always tell me like, oh, you should be posting on Farcaster too. So it's kind of like wow, but I never felt like anything stuck there. Like it felt like it was like the same people on Twitter. but smaller, or bots kind of just running the show. Which again, not a slate again. All social networks have bots. Like Twitter has a million gajillion bots. So, but now I'm like, okay, well, I was feeling that, and it seems like the product was also reflecting that. So I'm like, okay, well, that's good. They're gonna like pivot, and then maybe again, like I saw a lot of people's commentary, and this is like you should always be building where people are, and not trying to take them away from stuff. So like adding crypto native features on a social networking like Twitter is probably better, and I think some people have done that. But yeah, I mean, I think it sucks for a lot of people, to be honest, and not me personally, because I said I've always tried to be a big push on Farcaster, but it's never clicked. So
Yeah, that's pretty. That's a well-rounded answer. But do you think the base app has played a role into this? Because I feel like people did use Farcaster. There was spikes. It did die down a bit, and I feel like the base app came in and like revitalized that social media thing back into the people's minds. But then now the base app has turned out to be, or like, is trying to become the social media, the app that you need to be on,
yeah,
uh, compared to like Farcaster.
I
And I
told you,
think,
Base is trying to win it. They're trying to win it all. Like I said that, all right, and that's the same thing, right? So
yeah, also, I mean, if I am using the base app, I wouldn't use Farcaster app, right? Like, because whatever I do post on base, I think is already coming on to the Farcaster app, if I'm not wrong. Like, it
yeah,
does.
yeah. It was also very confusing because like Farcaster had these like communities, and maybe it's just
Yeah.
me being dumb, but I never really. I always liked that, like because someone, I think Dan Romero said it nice, was like Farcaster is like Twitter and Reddit like married. So like had
Yeah.
these like communities, and like you can always like, oh, there's a matcha community. So like if I want to post a pic about matcha, I'm gonna drop in the matcha community. I know like there's gonna be engagement, there's gonna be discussion, all of
Yeah.
that. Versus if I just let it out in the free world. And
Yeah.
now in like base app, I think I don't know if I still have just been to figure out, but maybe it's not going to be working. But like the community stuff was gone. It was just like you're just going to post it to your general base following, which never really. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't really like the base app too much. The app itself is very buggy for me. Like, it doesn't feel as fluid.
Yeah.
Like using, I also liked Farcaster's like Warpcast app much better. But Twitter has been the most fluid for me. Like, I don't know, maybe it's familiarity, but I don't know. We'll see. I also don't think like financializing or coining posts works long term. But again, that's another discussion we
Yeah,
have.
yeah. That's a whole nother chat. But yeah, I also think like getting paid to post is a nice marketing thing, but like, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, all right, all right. I think we've covered a lot of ground on that. So moving on, let's also finally just let's try some interoperability stuff that I was going to talk about earlier, right? So at Avail, we're building this thing called Nexus, which is essentially an interoperability protocol, a meta interoperability protocol where you can integrate our our SDK into your app and basically have access to liquidity across multiple chains in a single click, right? So basically, a user just comes in, states what they want to do, like what their intent is. So I want to do this action on XYZ chain. And so no matter where the user has liquidity, Nexus takes care of sourcing that liquidity and executes it for you. Right? So the user no longer has to worry about what chain do I have money on? Do I have to bridge it to this chain before having to use this app and whatnot? Like all of that is taken care of for you without actually being worried about it, which is a significant UX. I guess improvement that we want to bring about. Again, not all of Web3 is ready for it because people have this thing in their mindset that, oh, you know what, I'm fine with connecting my wallet, choosing my network,
I love
bridging.
clicking buttons so many
Yeah,
times. I love it.
yeah. So like people have that bias or like bias for not having change. Like people love being comfortable where they are, but only when I feel like when people experience something like this, that what we built out for you guys, it'll really click. So like talking about it won't really make sense. So I want you to actually go ahead and try one of the apps that we have built. It's like a showcase app, so it'll support all of the features that we kind of support with our SDK. I think a couple of weeks ago, we also got Bunty was like Kunal from Monad to actually try out the Monad Fast Bridge, which we kind of built for the Monad team on Mainnet, day one
Nice.
Mainnet. So like Monad amount that you want to like bridge to Monad, what's the amount you want to bridge? And you just click bridge. Like no matter where you've got liquidity, it's like a vampire attack for Monad.
Yeah.
So that was a pretty cool thing, and a lot of people liked it.
Are you seeing it? There you go.
Yes, let's go. All right, this looks pretty cool.
As you see, I'm rich. I'm very rich.
All right, so we have the Showcase app. You basically connected your wallet. So first thing you're going to see is this thing called Unified Balance. Obviously, you have liquidity, or basically you're very rich. $9 on Mainnet is very rich in this economy.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, one thing you'll notice is that $9, the big bold number, is basically your unified balance across 3 assets and 4 different chains, which is interesting. Okay. And you can see that right now. And the pretty cool thing about Nexus is when you're interacting with apps, which is Nexus integrated, you don't have to worry about which of those 3 chains you have those money on. You can just see, I've got $9. I can just input anything other than $9 into that input field, and it will work.
So it will work.
Yeah. All right. So there are a couple of things you can do. You can, if you want, you can transfer funds. So if you go to transfer, you'll see that you can choose the destination chain. Notice you don't specify what your source chain is. That is the difference here. Like if you go to any bridging app, you have to choose, okay, I want to bridge from X chain to Y chain and then the amount. In this case, you don't specify the destination chain. We have the ability to. It's just that the developer can abstract it away for you, and that is possible. So the protocol itself decides where the liquidity is going to be taken from. So do you want to keep your destination chain on Ethereum mainnet? You can do that, or you can put anywhere else. But for this, you'll need basically the transfer function is basically where you are sending your funds to another wallet on a different chain. So that is what transfer does. But the fast bridge is basically you send it to your own wallet address on any destination chain. So that's the only difference there between the two. If you want, you can maybe just do the fast bridge, maybe to try that out. Pick any chain. I mean, doesn't really matter.
I mean, Base trying to win it all, man. Base gonna win my heart.
All right. Do you want to do USDC or ETH? Which token are you sending?
Let's do USDC.
All right. You got 3 USDC.
All of $3 here. So what do I do? So this is the destination chain, and I'm gonna send this to myself.
Yes. You're gonna send.
It's gonna bridge.
Bridge what? 1 USDC.
From what?
You'll see. You'll see.
Oh, okay.
You'll see.
Okay.
All right. So now you see like a confirmation screen. You can view your sources. So what's happening now is it's going to pick some USDC from Arbitrum 1. So the 1 USDC that you want is going to be taken from Arbitrum. And I guess the solver fees is going to be paid from your USDC from OP Mainnet.
Wow.
And basically, at the end of the day, you will get your 1 USDC on Base. And that is it. You just confirm. And you'll have your wallet pop up with like an intent hash that needs to be signed if you've already given allowances. Otherwise, you'll have to give allowances first. Once you have given your allowances, there's an intent hash that needs to be signed. And once that is signed, the intent is submitted to a solver network, and the solver will fill your request on the destination chain.
Let's see.
Notice you used 2 chains. You bridge funds.
2 chains. Nice. Okay. Yeah. Sources.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So essentially, you basically moved from 2 chains. It felt like one action that was being done. Okay, you had to do multiple wallet signings. That's fine. But the user experience itself is like, I don't have to context switch this, right? That I think the core thing that happens in most apps in Web3 today is like, you try to use an app, you see that you don't have enough liquidity, you first go to like the
chains ecosystem page to see what bridges are supported. Okay, like if it's like a lesser known chain, you have to find which, maybe Stargate, maybe across, maybe some other chain, some other bridge. You find what is supported, you go there, you bridge. Maybe not enough liquidity on that chain, you bridge from another chain as well. Too many processes. Keep it simple, brother. Keep it simple.
Keep it simple, brother. Yeah, I just say that all the time to myself.
All right, so that is one of the things you can do. I mean, so you might, I don't know if you have this question, do we only do like, is this like an alternative to bridging?
Is this an alternative to bridging?
Yeah, bro, thank you for asking that, Dan. All right. No, it is not.
All right.
I mean, it is in a sense, but basically we try to give bridgeless experiences. I think the more powerful thing is if you go to the deposit page on the left. Perfect. So what's cool about this is now you can actually so you can select either Compound or Aave, whichever you want to choose. You can use Aave on Arbitrum, which is fine. And maybe pick USDC. Yeah, you have got USDC, right? Yeah, perfect. So what we'll do is you can put any amount that you want, and it will basically supply USDC on Aave Arbitrum market in this click. So if you don't have enough Arbitrum liquidity, it will bridge that and deposit. So you can check your sources if you want. Okay, it's going to, you've got enough liquidity on base, so it's going to bridge from base to Arbitrum and then deposit it into Aave in this single operation.
All right, let's see it.
Let's see it.
Gotta approve the intent. So I have to do this intent approval every time. That's
you have to approve the intent. Yeah. So you can the allowances, you can kind of, if you have a high allowance set, then you don't have to give allowances always. But intent, you have to sign it. Then only we can verify. We can do the verification on the solver side. So that is the only thing. And once the intent bridging is done, you should be able to execute the transaction. So there'll be an execution request coming in.
It's all happening in the wallet. All right.
Okay.
Transaction was submitted. Oh, it confirmed, ladies and gentlemen.
Perfect. All right. I mean, yeah, if you go to the top right, you click on that arrow thingy, you'll go to Aave. If you connect your wallet, you'll see your balance there. So, I mean, either way, it should be there. It's smart contracts. It's immutable.
Yeah. Nothing could change.
Hopefully.
You've already connected. Oh, I need to connect. Okay, here we go. Look at that. Ooh.
We have it, and you're earning 3% on that $1, brother.
Oh yeah, bro. Retirement money right here. This is retirement money.
All right. That was the Showcase app, and that was our discussion. I mean, we kind of did the unified balance thing. We saw how to bridge. We saw how to deposit. Yeah, I mean, it's the cross-chain magic, if I would say so myself.
It is good.
Yeah, man. So, I mean, I don't have anything else to kind of. I
have one thing. I think you should change the name. I don't like Nexus. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. No. Yeah.
You don't like Nexus?
I don't know. It seems like a generic tech word that you use, like, this is the Sigma or the Prime. Nexus. Let's use that one. Like, I don't even know, what does Nexus actually mean. I used to have a Google Nexus tablet, but Nexus is just like a overused thing. Nexus.
I'm just gonna.
What does it mean?
Nexus meaning it means a connection between multiple things, right? Like something like that.
Is it?
Yeah, a series of connections linking two or more things. Yeah.
A central. Okay. Well, okay. Maybe this is the only time you can actually use Nexus, but I'll say like Nexus. There's so many things like product, like Nexus product.
Yeah, there are many Nexuses out there. There's a lot of Nexuses out there.
You know what you should have done? You should have done the 2 X's. Nexus. This is better. Yeah, see, look, hair things. Better hair science.
Yeah. I mean, we can't use 3, so 2 is the limit.
4. Yeah, I think so. Or XXX Nexus. Something like that. But this is that's my only feedback.
It is what it is. But yeah, I will take it back to the team. We'll see.
Yeah, please take that directly back to the team. Look at this Google Nexus. This is the one I had. Nexus all around, but it's a generic. It's a generic tech term.
Yeah, it is a generic term. Yeah.
Mhm.
Not gonna lie, that is true. So yeah, I mean, yeah, it was fun having you on board here, man. It was
Thanks for having
pretty
me.
cool. It was pretty cool to discuss with you all things what happened in the past 2 months in Web3. It was pretty cool. I mean, you got some really good thoughts, and you make the show lively. I think that's pretty cool. You've got that energy in you. You've got the showmanship.
Is it? It's the matcha, man. It's just the
It's
matcha.
a matcha? Okay. It's matcha. Okay. If I had my chai, I would have shown you. So
Yeah.
and
Next
please,
time.
add the VFX for like a chai cup.
Yeah. The AI will solve it.
Yeah. So awesome, man. Yeah, it was nice talking to you. Thank you for joining in.
Thanks, Robin. Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah. All right. Do you have any last things that you want to maybe shout out to the audience? Anything call to action that you want to maybe give before hopping off?
Keep spreading developer joy, everyone. That's it. That's my sign off.
Developer joy. Yep.
Yeah.
Hopefully you give me the award though. But
we'll see. We'll see. You know, I gotta let the people decide, but you know, we'll see how it happens.
awesome. Okay.
All
Bye,
right,
everyone.
see ya.